Thanks for tuning in my channel, guys. I am Thacreamy. I hope you guys had a good New Year's Eve, good New Year's, good Christmas. I have not posted a video in a while. I have like a cold. My nose is all sore. I went to sleep at like 9 o'clock last night, took some NyQuil and passed out on New Year's Eve. So I had a lot of fun. It was a great night. This video, I want to show you guys how to make the best Xbox One adapter so you can use your current gen headsets. I've tried many different ways to do this, and this is definitely the clearest, best way to do it. So let's get into it. You're going to need a lighter, a razor blade or razor knife, solder, flux, a solder iron, pliers, paintbrush, and you're going to need your Xbox One headset, and you're going to have to cut it right at the top, right before it hits like the speaker. You're going to need a 2.5 millimeter stereo input jack. You get this at Radio Shack, Fry's Electronics. Pretty much any electronics store you should be able to get this, and the flux and the solder. First thing you want to do after you cut the wire off of the headset, your Xbox One headset, you're going to want to make 2 incisions close to the edge on each side of this wire, as you guys can see me doing. The wires inside of this black wire are actually on the sides, they're not in the middle, so there's no point to cut down the middle. You won't find anything. And once you do those 2 incisions, you should be able to pull the wires out. The copper wire is wrapped around the white wire, so you're going to have to like twist it up after you unwrap it, and then you can finish cutting off the rubber sleeve after you get the wires pulled out. Now you're going to have 4 wires, and they are blue, black, white, and copper. Now the copper and the black are the ground wires. The blue wire is the speaker, like your chat when you hear people talking to you, and the white wire is your mic. Now all those wires have like a plastic coating around them, so you're going to need to burn them off with a lighter and then just wipe them clean. You can either dip it in alcohol or wipe it off with your finger. I just use my finger. You need to have metal on metal contact. That's the reason for doing this. So make sure you do this. But before you do anything, after you cut your Xbox One wire, slide the plastic sleeve from the adapter on, so you don't forget to do that, because if you forget, you're going to have to redo everything because it won't go on if you forget. Now this is the adapter. As you can see, there's holes in each one of the terminals. That's where you're going to be sticking the wire through. You have the ground rod that has 1 hole, and you're going to be sticking the copper wire and the black wire through that first, and then you're going to be putting the blue one on the right terminal and the white one on the left terminal. As you guys can see, I twisted up the copper and the black wire, stuck it through the grounding rod, and at this point what you guys are watching me do is I'm just trying to get all the wires in the placement where they need to be. So I'm trying to get the blue wire up where it needs to be, and same thing with the white wire. I want to put them on the right side, and then after I get them put where they're supposed to, kind of situate it in a good place, I'm going to solder the copper wire and the black wire to the ground rod, and that's what you guys see me doing right now. That's the very first thing you want to do. I do make the wires long, but that's okay because you can always trim them after you solder them, and it's a lot easier to work with them being a little bit longer. The reason I say that is because I don't know if this video is showing how small this piece is, but it's a pretty small adapter. So the longer the wire, the easier it is going to be to push it through the terminal holes. Right now you guys see me putting the white wire through the left terminal. If you guys are looking at this, the ground rod, by left and right, the ground rod needs to be at the bottom. If the ground rod's at the top, it's going to mix everything up. So make sure when you're looking at the diagram, the right terminal and the left terminal are based off of the ground rod being at the bottom, if that makes sense. After I have everything in place and situated and tight, I dab a little bit of flux on the terminal, and I'm going to put the solder on. And as you guys can see, I'm using the pliers pretty much to hold everything in place, because I don't want to have to think about things moving or trying to hold extra things that I don't need to be holding on to when I solder. And I'm going to go over the whole soldering thing just to give you guys a couple tips and advice on this as soon as we're done with this part. But as soon as I'm done with that, I can cut off the excess wire that's left after I solder, but I don't want to do that until after I'm done soldering. And this is what it looks like when it's all done, you guys. You have the blue on the right, the white on the left, and then the copper wire and the black wire at the grounding rod at the bottom. And after it's all done, I just twist it, close it up. That's why you want to put that thing on at the very beginning, because you won't be able to get it on if you don't. And this is what it looks like. Now, the wrong way to solder. If you hold the soldering iron right on the terminal and you're trying to take the solder and push it on, and what this is going to cause is going to make the whole adapter really hot, and you can melt the inside of it, because the soldering irons are extremely hot, and it's going to be extremely sloppy doing it this way. And as you guys can see, I melted it and was able to pull out the terminal because it was all melted. Now, the right way to do this, it makes it very easy, is getting flux, which you can get at Radio Shack or any electronics store, just like the adapter. You want to put a little bit of flux first on the terminal, and this is the glue, like the glue that holds everything together. It activates the solder, makes it stick faster and better. So you want to dab a little bit of this. Super important, you guys. Make sure you get flux, especially when you're working on little electronics like this. You dab it, and then instead of taking the solder and holding it, and the soldering iron holding it where you need to work, you want to actually put the solder on at the very beginning on the actual soldering iron, as you guys can see me doing. You just want to put a little bit at the end. You can put as much as you want, but just a little bit, because you don't need too much for these. And then I'm only going to dab it, and it's only going to take a second for it to stick. So you guys can see I don't put a whole lot of heat on that terminal. I have to worry about melting it, and it stuck really, really well. Works perfectly. That is the correct way. You put the flux on first, put the solder on the soldering iron, and you will have nothing to worry about, you guys. Pretty simple. I want to show you guys just so you could see that. So hopefully that made sense, you guys. If for some reason you have more questions or something didn't make sense to you guys in this video, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I will answer as best as I can. Total cost for everything is about $5 if you have a solder gun. If you don't have a soldering gun, it's going to be close to $20, because a soldering gun's like $15. But the adapter and the flux, that's going to cost around $5. It's a great solution. You don't have to wait for Microsoft to come out with one whenever they end up doing that. Plus, sorry, that's my phone. Plus, it's going to be a lot cheaper, because I'm sure Microsoft's going to charge around $30 to $40 for the adapter. So, works really well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And as always, you guys, thanks.